Welcome again. I'm the motherfucking Batman, David John Lincoln, aka the Savage Bat, with very special guest, mem legend, Zack Snyder mem legend, veteran of the fandom, and a very good friend of mine, Chris Hughes, Dr. Memehattan. Hey,
Oh my God, that was like, how am I supposed to live up to that introduction now? You're about to be very disappointed, I think.
no, it's true.
Oh,
It's
no way.
It's true. I was showing a little clip of the Snyder Cut announcement that you was in. So for
Right,
everyone
yeah.
watching, Chris was in the left hand middle corner side, left hand side in the middle. So
My
and
daughter's
you can
sitting
look
on my
that up
knee.
on Vero, the whole thing. It's great. But you was there with Zack Snyder, Deborah Snyder, and Henry Cavill as well.
I know, yeah, it was absolutely insane. And like, I remember just sitting there with my little girl and
Yeah,
like just thinking, Jesus, this is unbelievable. Like, just couldn't believe it was happening. You know what I mean? And
neither
I
could I.
like, I remember having like tears in my eyes and like holding my daughter, like sort of like my daughter was like this on my knee, and I was like hiding behind her, like trying to sort of like wipe away the tears on her hair and all this other sort of stuff. It was, yeah, it was unreal.
Yeah, that was, out of the history of the Snyder fandom, that was one of the greatest moments that we've had. And you was there, man. I remember because I didn't know that you was going to be in it, and
Honestly, I know.
when I watched the video, and I was like, "What the fuck is that, Chris?"
I know,
And
yeah.
then I
It was
messaged you later, going, "What the hell?"
it was so funny because like when I was like speaking on it, I could see my phone because I had the laptop on my knee
Yeah,
and I had my phone sort of next to me, and I had a bottle of beer in my right hand.
yeah.
When I was talking to like Henry, I could see my phone going off. Like all these women that I'm friends with on Facebook saying, "Tell him I said hello." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was just absolutely amazing. Not for you, but that day, we got the announcement was just,
Mm,
I was screaming.
I
You know,
know, and I was just so happy for Zach and his
yeah,
family and everyone who worked hard on the film. They deserve that. Like just to have their work absolutely butchered and shafted and
yeah.
turned into some abomination of some sort of fucking
It's
theme
criminal.
park. I know,
Yeah,
it's like,
theme
and then
park.
like and
It
then
was a
like all of a
crime.
sudden it's like it's there, it's there. And we all did it, and we all did it for him. We did it for his family, and like I said, everyone who
Yeah,
worked hard on the film. So I'm just I'm just so glad for them. It must be so
yeah.
nice to finally sort of think, thank fuck it, it's there.
That's it. That's it. And that's what it's all about. Is
Oh, I just
you know,
realised, are we allowed to drop F bombs or are we keeping it clean?
Oh yeah, I'm the motherfucking Batman. We can go. We can
I
go
know,
full out. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
I
Yeah,
was just
this
if
is
it's not for the kids or something.
no set to not for kids on purpose. Yeah, don't want to get shut down for bad language.
Right.
But yeah, no, we could. Yeah, we're live on the Savage Bat channel. Please don't say fuck, shit, or bugger.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, right. Honestly, yeah, it's just I just can't believe that it's like happened and we've got our own copy of it. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
I've got it. Um, Getting subscribing to a thing on the TV to get it. Then I remember
now
buying it on hard
TV. Yeah,
copy and 4K. I bought it on four. Don't even have 4K player. I bought it on 4K. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I have my steelbook signed by Ray Porter. I'm going to try and fill up the whole steelbook with all the actors. Hold on, I will grab it. There we go. That's Ray
Oh,
Porter's signature.
nice.
Ray Porter's signature there.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
spring?
He's a really nice guy. I remember when we went to Comic Con and
Yeah,
I got him to sign a Dark Side Funko Pop. And
yeah,
as I gave it to him, I was like, "Is it all right if I get to sign my Thanos Funko Pop?" And he was like, "Yeah, I guess so." You know
yeah.
what I mean? He just didn't have a problem signing Thanos, and I was like, "No, no, Ray, it's you, really, Ray. It's Dark Side. It's Dark Side. Don't worry, don't worry."
Yeah, no, that was great. And that brings us to our journey for the Zack Snyder fandom. We
Right.
finally met at Wales Comic Con after knowing each other for around 8 years, something like that,
Oh
becoming
yeah.
friends over the years. And we met for the first time then in real life. I'll add the picture into that, into the episode. And
Yeah. That was crazy. That was like I say, it's so surreal. Like when you see, like you talk to people like online, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden they're there right in front of you, and
uh,
it's uh, it's quite surreal. Like, oh my God, they do exist. You know what I mean? It's not
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
behind
amazing.
like a phone or like a keyboard or something. Like actually real people.
Yeah, that's it. It was amazing, and because like the Snyder Cut announcement, that kind of shocked the world, but that was different for like me and you and the other Snyder fans that have been fighting for this. Like this was like a sort of religious day. Like after all that
Yeah,
fighting,
I know.
um,
Yeah.
and being told that it doesn't exist, get over it.
Oh God.
The
Yeah.
score. It was the same
Yeah.
comments over and over and over again,
I
and we were
know.
like,
I just can't imagine. Like, what got me is that towards the cut being announced, it was like I remember somebody interviewing Jesse Eisenberg, right? And they were
yeah,
saying to him, they were like, "Do you think that Zack Snyder's Justice League will be released, or you like us, one of the normies who doesn't think it exists?" I'm thinking,
yeah,
fuck off. What do you mean
yeah,
normies who think it doesn't exist? You know absolutely nothing. You had like
yeah,
Zack saying it existed. You had Jay Oliver who said it existed.
yeah,
Jason Momoa, Ray
yeah.
Fisher. You have all these people saying it exists, but no, some guy who writes blogs in his mum's basement said it's not real.
I
It's
know.
like, come
Well,
on.
it didn't pay off very well for them because they was all bloody proved wrong. Even the big pages on Facebook, specifically like people like Collider and all them all them
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
I know. Yeah,
And
it is
that
quite
was
funny looking back on it now because at the time when like they used to put these things out, I used to get
yeah,
so irate about it when they said it didn't exist. Even
yeah,
though Zach's posting the canisters of the actual film
yeah. I
and they're
know.
saying it doesn't exist, and then like
I know.
honestly, it used to send me wild. So
Yeah,
then, like
same.
when it
You
finally
know.
came out, and now you don't hear anything from them. Now you just hear like, "Oh yeah, well we knew it existed, but it wasn't in its final form." Like, fuck off.
Yeah, I know. Even after it came out, they was trying to pull that one.
I know. It's just so sad. By the way, if you see me grabbing two different drinks, I got a hot drink and I got a cold drink. I'm not like, pulling drinks out of nowhere. I'm not like
Yeah,
some sort of, some some sort of like drinks magician or nothing. It's just I got two drinks.
yeah. But yeah, you've interacted with Zach and Jay. Is it Jay Oliver or Jay Olivia?
Oh yeah, Jay Oliver. He's like
Oh,
hilarious, right? I remember once that. Do you remember that guy who he said it exists? Deal with it too.
yeah,
I think his name's Movie Bob or something like that.
yeah,
And
yeah. I
I
remember. This
remember
is what I was.
it's like I just remember that day perfectly. It was just I remember writing back to him once, and then all of a sudden I had a notification on my phone, and Jay Oliver's there defending me. He's like
Yeah,
arguing my case against this guy, and I'm thinking. I
yeah,
was in work when it was happening, so I was like on like the floor of the job I was on. I was looking at my phone. I was like, yes.
yeah. I mean, this is the guy we're talking about. Done the storyboards for Man of Steel. Batman vs Superman, Zack Snyder's
I
Justice
know.
League.
That's it. And like legendary like director of things like Flashpoint Paradox and all that sort of stuff. And you're
And
gonna
one
have
of my
some,
favourites, The Dark Knight
yeah,
Returns, Part One and Part Two.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And then you've
Honestly,
got
I
some,
still haven't made my mind up because been a Batman fan for a long time. Mask of Phantasm or Dark Knight Returns Part One and Part Two. I think they're both up there as the greatest
I just, I
animated
like, and I
movies.
actually like Jay. I actually like him as a person, right? I remember
Yeah,
watching his panels on Justice Con, right?
yeah,
With Nana Cole and Wonder Meg.
yeah,
He just when they ask him a question, he'd answer the question, but then he'd totally geek out and he'd go like over here somewhere and forget about the question he was just asked. He's like he's one of us,
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
just goes on, and it's like sort of like
It's
what I'm
great
doing
watching
now.
him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what you just mentioned there? A little bit of breaking news for the audience. I've got Wonder Meg coming on in the next few days, so that's going to be
Yeah,
yeah.
I like Meg. She's really nice. She seems like a really nice person. I've never met her in person, but I met her
No,
online.
I
Obviously,
haven't, but she's been
she seems like a really nice person.
again a massive part of the fandom. But we'll
Mm.
talk about that more with her, when she that happens.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely.
that's
Yeah, she's
coming.
really nice. I like Meg. She seems like a really funny person as well.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so on to more of that. You've done a couple of tweets, and there's been a few on Vero and stuff where Zack's actually liked your post and actually replied.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
That's what I don't get. He's like I'm in like a lot of fandoms, and the ones that I'm in, all the people who are like the people who you're like your fans of, I'm
yeah,
lucky really because they're all really nice people. So that's why I never get when people say like how they can hate Zach just because he made a movie that they may not like, for example, right?
yeah,
And they drag him through the mud and all that other sort of stuff. But
I know,
like he's always like straight up, he's always been really nice to me. He's always been really nice to my family. He's
yeah.
always been nice to everyone else who I see him interacting with.
But with
And
me, you
it's
remember when he replied to me on Vero? Like
yeah, yeah.
that
I remember
was
you
a
saying.
great. That was such a great day for me, just to because he knows he's watching everything, and I
Mm,
just commented, thank you, been a part of the fandom and all that,
mm.
and he put thanks, brother, with a little praise sign, and I said before I went white as a ghost. I had to lie. I was staying at my mum's because of the lockdowns and the COVID, and
Mm.
I had to lie down on the sofa. My mum was like, "You all right?" I was like, "Nah, I'm not." Zack Snyder just like replied to me on Vero. I was just like,
Oh, honestly,
what the
yeah.
fuck?"
I remember like a few years ago when I first got asked to join. I mean, I was on Vero anyway, but in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in,
Yeah.
somebody said you should come across to Vero and start using it. And I was like, no, I'm on it, but I don't know how to use it properly, you know. And
Neither
they're
did
like, no,
I.
come on. Oh, and like it just baffled me. I didn't get it. And then they said, come over to Vero. I'll introduce you to some people. And then I got introduced to like the people that I'm friends with now, and like they just introduced me on the timeline and all that. And then I just thought randomly, I'll just put a post on. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I was in bed. And I can still remember the picture I posted, right? It was
Yeah.
basically a guy proposing to a girl. He's like on his hands and knees, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he in his hand, he says, I've got something I want to ask you. And the girl's going, oh my God, this is it. And he goes, I want you to watch Batman v Superman with me, right? And
Yeah.
it made me laugh. So I thought, I wonder if anyone else will laugh at it. Posted it
I
on
remember it.
Vero. And then the next thing it came up, Zack Snyder likes your photo post. And I was like, no, it can't be him. It's got to be some
It
sort of
actually
fake
is
random
though.
account. So like, and I went on the account and I was like, oh fuck, and it was him. And then like the
Yeah.
next thing, it came up, it said like Zack Snyder is now following you. And I just went fucking wild then.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like next to my wife in bed, and I was like, like you're never gonna guess what's happened. And it was crazy. And then I thought like, because even though like all like the jokes I tell are like very sort of semi-average, like I always think like everyone who laughs at them are just like me. So like
Yeah.
he's laughing at my humor, and I just
Yeah.
love to know what he thinks of like when he sees some of the stuff I've come to like make, and because some of
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
completely random. It's like I don't know where I pulled it out of, what sort of like part of my
No.
brain.
But
Yeah,
yeah, you've done some incredible memes over the years.
yeah.
That have they're still floating around now. Some of your older ones on Facebook. Same with mine. I see my old memes popping up, and I'm like, oh my god, I made that like in
Yeah.
2015.
I know
Um,
it's crazy, isn't it? And it's
yeah,
like I don't know how it came to the point where like it just goes from like telling jokes to all of a sudden, connecting with people from across the world. I mean,
I know.
that was what I wanted to do because like when it first like I just seen so much negativity towards BVS and all that other sort of stuff and to Zach, and I thought fuck this, I'm going to do my own thing, and I span it
Yeah,
round and started making it to promote it, and then
yeah,
that was my contribution. So whereas you've got like really talented like artists, musicians,
yeah,
YouTubers, all that other sort of stuff, my contribution was telling very odd jokes,
yeah.
so just to
But
sort of just to contribute and raise awareness for the cause, and
Yeah.
that
Well,
was it
that's it.
really.
Well, just get into that. The AFSP, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, Zack Snyder's chosen charity.
Mm.
It was you that introduced me to that in the first place. You know,
Oh
kind of
really? Oh, I didn't know that.
before everyone else, you started posting about that, and I was like, right, I didn't know about that. I'm on this, you know, to support Zack with after what happened and that. And yeah, it was you. It was you that got me on that. I'm wearing
And
today the Henry Cavill AFSP. I think Matteo Festinelli. So special editions. I thought because you had Henry Cavill in the episode, and
they,
Zack Snyder's 5-story arc is about Superman. I thought,
oh yeah.
even though I'm
Oh
Batman, I
no
thought
way.
I'd represent the Superman today.
Yeah, that's it. I had no idea. See, and if it's that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to bring like raise awareness for the causes and stuff, and then
Yeah,
at least then even if people saw it, well, like yourself, for example, if there's any way to sort of like help raise money and to help stop suicide and to help people who are like really struggling, and then helping raising money. What did Zach say? He said literally saving lives.
literally
You know,
saving lives. That is,
yeah, yeah.
and not just because of Zack as well. Personally, I've had my own mental health problems over the years, and that's another reason. It,
Mm.
really, I really, come to love it and support it, and all that. And yeah, it's just such a great thing. It's the AFSP side of it, and I've actually got a project coming up soon where I'm going to
Right.
do my own line of t-shirts, and all the proceeds are going to AFSP,
No way. That's amazing.
and
Well done.
it's going to be connected to my group, the Restore the Snyderverse, the Snyder Knights. So we're
Well
going to
done.
try and raise some money all between us. Jeremy Piner, Jeremy, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And all the incredible admins, and yeah. So that's upcoming. So watch out for that, guys. Because they're on a limited run. So make sure you're ready to become an honorary member of the round table of the Snyder Knights and support AFSP at the same time.
That's amazing. Well done.
Yeah. We're just working on it at the moment, and I'll drop that very very soon. So yeah, I'm really really looking forward to that, and hope it goes well. Because
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it
yeah,
will.
yeah, that's it. But yeah, I just the journey we've been on together with, like you just mentioned, the Batman versus Superman thing. Everyone hating on that movie was really what kind of sort of triggered this whole fandom. Really, it
Mm.
was Man of Steel got like sort of okay reception, and it's starting to be recognised now. But it was that Batman versus Superman wars that kind of
Yeah.
brought everyone together. We knew each other's kind of a little bit, in the groups and stuff.
Mm.
But it was then that like everyone started thinking like, what is going on? Like, leave us alone. Let us just enjoy this, without being hounded on everything, about it.
Yeah.
Even Rotten Tomatoes, with that pathetic score. I mean, Zack Snyder just actually
Oh.
said that's
Mm.
just rude.
Yeah. 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 I never got it. It just seemed like, personally, anyway, it just seemed like they were doing it to sort of like be one of the fucking cool kids. Like it's cool to sort of hate on the movie for no reason,
No,
guaranteeing that like 0% of them ever watched it. They got their
no,
opinion off some fucking random YouTuber somewhere,
yeah, copy,
and then they just decided to turn it into their own opinion to join the
yeah,
fucking club or something. And I just never got it. I thought, either there's a couple of things at play here. One, they didn't watch it. Two, they didn't understand it.
yeah,
Three, they were looking at their fucking phone for the majority of the time they were looking at it.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean, I think like without going to Martin Scorsese, I think that people are so, I think that most people, I don't know what it is. I think that people are so used now to having movies spoon fed to them. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And there's no sort of like thought about anything. It's like if you watch BVS, you
yeah,
can literally peel layers and layers and layers off it, and there's still stuff in there that Zach said that no one's spotted yet. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah.
it just seemed like a cool thing for people to do, like hate the movie, and like I said, I think it's just a case of them not watching it or not understanding it or just not paying attention. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure all the theme parks they go to are very good, but they're not. It's just not that type of movie.
Not at
Things
all.
are done differently on this playground. So I
Definitely.
just yeah
Totally different ball
yeah
game. I mean, like I
yeah
still now to this day, looking out for those things in it. But that takes me back to when Batman vs Superman first came out, and then we got the Ultimate Edition, which is the Ultimate Edition. It says it for itself, you know.
yeah
But we was all sort of posting stuff about the Excalibur references, you know. Bruce Wayne's parents being killed on Excalibur was playing at cinema, then all the
mm,
Excalibur references with the death of Superman and things like that. You know,
yeah
years, before some big sort of superhero pages and stuff like that were even caught onto that sort of thing, which was also cool because we was way ahead of the game. Working out all these things and references to comics. Um, you
yeah
know, animated Justice League. There's lots of that in it. That people
yeah
didn't
yeah
realise at first. You know,
yeah.
and obviously the Dark Knight Returns as the main sort of influence in it. But
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. Is like with the Ultimate Edition as well. I
yeah,
was watching the theatrical, and like somebody saying he's gonna release another version. He's gonna release his version, the one he wanted us to see.
yeah,
It's gonna be on Blu-ray and all that other sort of stuff. When I bought it, I was like, "Fuck!" They cut out like a decent part of the story there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like Lex's plan and all that. It was just. I remember thinking, I wish I'd have watched that in the cinema. I
yeah,
mean, don't get me wrong, I loved like watching the theatrical, but if I'm going to watch a director's version, I want to watch what they had planned. I don't want to
yeah.
watch, the studio's sort of let's cut it down to this time. I want to watch his. And when I was watching it at home, I remember finishing it and then putting it straight back on again. And I've
Yeah,
never
so
done
did
that
I.
with a movie. But besides Watchmen, I've never done it with a movie. It was just like, this
Same
is
with
so
Watchmen.
good. Like,
Yeah,
why did they not, leave? Just put it in the cinema. I quite happily go and sit in the cinema and watch 4 hours of Zack Snyder's Justice League. It doesn't
hundred
matter to me,
percent,
It's
100%.
yeah,
And yeah, we might even get a slightly different version as well, possibly. Um, the Green Lantern cut.
yeah,
That,
that would be great. I'd love to see that. That's for sure. And again, I'd love
yeah,
to see it for Wayne T. Carr's sake. Again, imagine like getting the call. Your Green Lantern, and this is what we're going to film your scene. Oh, by the way, we can't put it in the movie because Warner
yeah,
Brothers says so.
yeah. I know. Yeah, that must be gutting. And
Yeah,
I really
yeah. I
hope for
hope for
that.
his sake. I like I say, I hope for his sake that we get to see his Green Lantern because he seems like a really nice person as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Silab Dawn, Mikey Sutton had mentioned a little bit about that, so that might be could be a possibility.
Right.
And they also some sort of Green Lantern news has been floating around from them and others about the Green Lantern series. Possibly it
Mm.
might be a movie instead. So that could possibly star Wayne T. Carr. Uh, you know, and that would be great to see. Because
Mm.
that was
Right, I
kind
didn't
of
know that.
yeah. Well, it's not nothing's written in stone. This is all we're just hoping for the moment. But
Mm.
they're a really reliable source. Mikey Sutton. Yeah, they've got some really cool scoops that have over and over again they've been right. He's been right. And Seal does the channel and all that. And yeah, it's really everything's looking really positive at the moment for the whole of Restore the Snyderverse.
Oh wow.
yeah, it's going to be amazing, and with like we had with released the Snyder Cut. It's going to be a great day for again.
I know, yeah. I just, it's just so funny watching these people eat their words. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, and it was like, again to the point of where we're saying, I can't remember who it was who said it now. I think once the movie got released and then everyone was asking for restore the Snyderverse,
yeah,
somebody said something like, "Oh, you know what happened? You give a mouse a cookie or something."
yeah,
Are you
yeah.
cocky? You know what I mean? There is absolutely no harm in asking for something. I mean, it's not as
Not
if
at all.
somebody's walking into a studio and threatening people. They're
No,
hashtags for fuck's sake. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's it. And and the hashtag's got us the Snyder Cut.
And they
Two
help raise a shit ton of money for AFSP as well. So
AFSP,
yeah,
nearly $1 million, and two Academy Awards for
yeah,
the Flash
exactly.
scene
Yeah.
and Army of the Dead, fan favorite, and yeah,
And again, it's just so funny seeing, you know, people see being so hung up on the Oscars thing as well. It's like
yeah.
even now, like I'll make stuff about it, and I did one a couple of weeks ago where I think Zack was lifting some weights, and I put an Oscar on each end of the bar on the
I saw
barbell.
that. That was brilliant.
I put, oh look, yeah, I was like looking good there, Zack. And
Yeah,
somebody wrote back to me, but they're not Oscars. I'm like, well, yeah, it sort of is because he actually won the fucking thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So there'd be absolutely no questions asked if it was Spider-Man that won it or whatever other theme park they've been to. But like the
Yeah,
thing is, if it was like I said, if it was their movies, it'd be fine. But because it's Zach, there's always something to say, isn't there?
there's always, there's no escaping it, and it's just totally unnecessary. And yeah, if Spider-Man: No Way Home had won, they wouldn't be saying nothing. That that that
Yeah,
that that
exactly.
that category was literally kind of made so films like Spider-Man: Away No Home, or just completely random films like Zack Snyder's, or whatever, could have a
Yeah.
chance of winning something, and it did. Zack Snyder won, and everyone's like, oh, I thought Spider-Man was
Yeah,
going to win.
that's it. And everyone was so bitter about it as well. The funny
Ah,
thing
it's
was, right? I can't remember
hilarious.
what it is. It's usually Instagram where I get the most stick. But I remember somebody writing to me. It was like, "Oh, Spider-Man: No Way Home should have won this,"
Yeah,
and I said, "Well, did you vote?" And they went, "No." I'm like, well, there you fucking go.
yeah.
You know what I
Fans
mean?
took the time. We've done the
You
work.
know,
Been accused of being robots, which ain't true. Even the Oscars, the Academy Awards have come out and said that we made a specific thing. So it had to be. It couldn't be a brand new account. It couldn't be like a bot account or whatever. And you couldn't post it more than 10 times or something like that. There was strict rules to it, so
yeah.
it wasn't robots. And then Ray Porter posted a picture of a little Japanese robot as a laugh, didn't he?
Yeah,
Taking the piss about
yeah,
it. And then Clay
I know. Yeah.
Storm posted a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger's arm in Terminator 2 when he cuts his arm open, and posted, enough with this shenanigans, just restore the
Yeah.
Snyderverse. So I joined in on the fun, done Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where they're just bitter and they have to think of excuses of why it couldn't have possibly won. But
No,
like I said, if they'd have voted, if they'd have done 20 tweets a day like everyone else was doing, then they would have won. But they didn't. So that's what
no.
happens when you don't play the game, isn't it? Yeah,
No, that's it. You got to be in it to win it.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then on to the day that we got the Snyder Cut. I've talked about a little bit about this myself. I got up 7 in the morning, got my coffee, had some breakfast and stuff to get set up ready for the day, and I ended up watching it 4 times because it was early in the morning, no one was up. So then when my mum got up, I watched it with her. She's been, I've been going on about it for years, and then my brother came home. I watched it with him and my mum, and then my stepdad Chris come home, and then we all watched it together after that. So I ended up watching it 4 times, and then because I got the associate producer stuff, got that invite to the watch party, and I didn't realise how late that was going to be on. I thought that was going to be on in like the daytime. I hadn't worked out the time zones right, so I ended up watching it again with Zack, on the thingy, and yeah, I was absolutely shattered. But what was that day like for you? Like, what do you know what I mean? I was just,
Oh,
it's perfect,
it's
masterpiece.
amazing. I remember because I went to the premiere of it, and
Yeah,
we
you
were
got
supposed
invited.
to get an email through with the link, but it never came through. So
Yeah,
like I
Film
was up
Gob
till
said
like I
about
think it
that.
was like 3 in the morning, and then I just remember I remember writing on my Vero. I was just like I'm gonna have to go to bed, and I was like I even posted a picture of myself in like pajamas, and I was like I'm sorry, I have to go to bed, everyone, but I'll catch it tomorrow. And Zach wrote on my post, and he wrote something like these fuckers are amateurs, I swear to God. And he was talking about the people who didn't send out the email, obviously.
Yeah,
And I was like, no, 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 don't worry, boss. I'm going to be here tomorrow, and I'll definitely be around. And yeah,
yeah,
it was. But watching it, it was just unbelievable. I just
yeah,
remember from the very, very beginning when you've seen Henry Cavill, sorry, Superman getting killed by Doomsday, and you've seen
yeah,
the tears in Ben Affleck's eyes, and
yeah.
I just remember thinking, fucking, because I remember going to the cinema to watch the theatrical cut. And all the way
Yeah.
through it, I was thinking, why aren't I feeling what I felt with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman? So then when this one came out and I was watching it, I felt it again. And I thought, God, you know what? I felt such a disconnect with the theatrical cut that I thought something was wrong with me. So then when Zack Snyder's Justice League came out and it was like, oh, there it is. That's it. I can feel it again.
That's that magic. Yeah.
And it was just, that was it. And then then you see like when Superman shouts, you see the waves going through the air of his screams. And I just
Which
thought, God,
is
this is it. Yeah, it
which is a
was that was
reference
it.
to the bell has been rung,
Yeah,
because
that's
that
it.
scream was that alerted Darkseid and all the enemies of Earth, that the Earth is not defended by a Kryptonian anymore.
Yeah,
You can
that was
come and
it. It was.
invade. And the bell's been rung. That's just been a common phrase in the fandom, and obviously the movie itself. But
I know,
yeah,
it's
and that,
so good, so
yeah,
good. I absolutely love that, and like the whole way through the film, it was just I just felt it on them big levels of emotion of like all these things, like when Wonder Woman bursts in and saves all those kids, and I just thought,
yeah,
fuck, this is amazing. I would have
yeah.
loved to
Oh,
watch it in the cinema. I really would have.
yeah. Well, I hope so one day. We'll have to see how that goes.
I know because I remember like when they were in America, and in America, there's been a couple of screenings in America that fans have organised, and
Yeah,
I seen Abdul did a couple, I think.
yeah,
I remember when he did BVS Comes Home, and he had an app for it. So on the app, you could like take a tour of where the filming locations were. You just track on. I thought, fuck, I would have loved to have gone to that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then I think one of my other friends did one. Brent Coffey, like
yeah,
fucking Brent is basically doing Warner Brothers promotion for Zack Snyder's Justice League
yeah,
on his own. Like he gives away hoodies and stuff, right?
yeah.
Just like absolute, like I said, all these people are like legends, like screening Zack Snyder's Justice League for people and raising money for AFSP, and like I think Mick did one in Ireland, and like it's like it's just amazing. I just love how this community can like do something like that, and
Yeah.
it's just
Well,
fucking magic.
as you mentioned it, right, I have actually been looking into it.
All
So
right.
yeah, of how to go about doing it. Making no promises to, but I'm going to try and make that happen. I'll probably get you to join me in doing that as you're in the UK.
No way.
Um,
Yeah, I would. I'd love to see it in the cinema. And like I
Yeah,
said, I'm not like, you know, I don't even care that I've got to sit in the cinema for 4 hours. Like all those people were concerned with Endgame.
yeah,
I don't care. I want to sit in the cinema. I want to feel that sort of IMAX, Zack Snyder epic in what it's glory like it was supposed to be. And
yeah.
yeah,
Well, what I was thinking was something along the lines of if we could get as many UK fans to come to it, if they could pull it off and okay it with the cinema and Zack and stuff like that and Warner Brothers, of like something around £40 or £50 for a ticket, and
mm,
then a little bit goes to the cinema and the rest to AFSP.
mm.
So I'm sure many Zack Snyder fans will definitely won't mind shedding that out. I certainly won't.
No, definitely, yeah,
And if we can somehow fill the whole theatre, then that'll be quite a big chunk for
definitely, yeah.
FSP.
That'd
So
be awesome.
that's something we're gonna, I'm looking into, and hopefully we can bring to life. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I'll get a few different people involved in that and work out whereabouts we can do it and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I say
Yeah,
I'd love to see it in the cinema. Like I remember watching Batman v Superman in the cinema. I've still got my tickets. I kept all my tickets for it, and remember I went loads of times to watch it in IMAX. It was just so good. I just love to feel Zack Snyder's Justice League in
yeah.
that sort of environment.
Yeah, definitely. That would be amazing. Well, fingers crossed. We'll see how that one goes. But yeah, that would be great. And yeah, experience it in full IMAX. Perhaps if the Green Lantern cut comes out, perhaps that. I don't know. We'll
Oh
have
wow!
have to wait and see. I just don't know. But that's something that I've been looking into. I'm going to try and make that happen if it's possible. Yeah, so yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, and then it's so many bloody interactions over the years from
Mm.
Zach's kind of team. I had Richard Cetrone on for an episode, and you've known, same as me,
Mm.
known Richard for on social media for a long time, and
Yeah, yeah.
he's been great. Another example of how great this, Zack Snyder and his team are with the fans. Is
He seems like a really nice person. I remember watching that when when you posted it, and he just seems like a really really nice person as well.
yeah,
And like he obviously knows his stuff, doesn't he? When it comes to like martial arts and everything, and
yeah,
that was
amazing.
yeah, like I say, I've been watching Army of the Dead, and like you see him, like thinking, God, like nobody does it like him. That warehouse scene that he did as well, that
Yeah,
was unreal.
yeah, for real. 5 different martial arts were used. He said, and yeah. So if you're watching this, audience, go back, check out that Richard Centrone episode. That was a highlight for me meeting him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
Just
was
that,
awesome. Really good,
just that
really good.
alone, it was great. Such a great guy. Total legend. And as we say, we call him the GOAT as well. He's definitely the greatest of all time. hundred
I think
percent.
so too, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. And well, like Man of Steel, for instance, we'll go back in time. Actually, we'll go back further in time than that. Let's go to Watchmen
Mm,
because I loved Dawn of the Dead and 300,
mm.
and that. But it was Watchmen that made me a Zack Snyder fan. So
Right.
before Man of Steel came out,
Mm,
um, I was already hooked. So when that news dropped that he was going to be the director of Man of Steel, I was already hyped. So you know, but onto Man of that's Watchmen. I said no, we know each other. We speak all the time through social
mm.
media. But Watchmen's one of your favourites as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I absolutely love that film. Again, it's one of the few films that I'll put on and I can watch continuously.
Yeah,
I love everything about it. Like
yeah,
Manhattan's origin scene is my favorite scene of a film of all time. I think
Yeah.
everything's perfect about it. The way it was lifted up, the graphic novel, the
Yeah.
score, the way it was filmed, the
Yeah.
actors, the actresses. It was just amazing. I don't know. I still don't. Even today, like, how old is Watchmen now? Was it 2009? Was it or
2008,
2010?
I think.
2008, right? And it
Yeah.
still holds up better than most movies today.
It does. It
It's
does.
amazing.
It's
Really good
absolutely
movie.
incredible. And then that, talking of, you know, being better than movies today, Man of Steel, onto that, was
Mm.
the CGI of, General Zod and Flora and all that. It's still now, that came out in 2013, and still now, movies that can't even touch it.
I
It's like,
know. I remember like
what's
watching
going
the
on?
film, like watching the film, and like you see General Zod in his suit and all that.
Yeah,
And it wasn't until like
that's what I'm
years
talking
later
about.
that I seen the behind the scenes footage of it all, and I
Yeah.
thought, fuck, I thought they were wearing the actual suits. I didn't
So
know that
did
it was
I.
like,
And,
yeah, it's
and then you see
insane.
the wearing the motion capture suits. You think, what? And then you get certain like Marvel movies over the years, with that kind of, they've got a kind of sort of cartoony
Yeah.
type CGI to them, still to this day, that you can tell is kind of a bit cartoonish. And the Man of Steel 2013, that's like God knows how
Yeah.
long, but still smashing it out the park, with modern day movies now.
Mm.
So I don't know what's happened
Oh,
there
I know.
with VFX teams, but Zack's obviously got the best one. So yeah, shout out to the VFX team, Zack Snyder's VFX team.
Like I say, I've never seen anything like it. I think that they're just unmatched. The fact that Doctor Manhattan in Watchmen,
Yeah,
they'll CGI wise and how they did it is
yeah,
so much better than movies that you see out today.
yeah.
It's it's unbelievable.
Yeah, something's been lost there, but Zack knows the key, and so does the VFX team.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then on to again Batman versus Superman. Um, I think I don't know if you, but I think that's my favourite Zack Snyder movie. Would you say that's your favourite? What's your favourite? So I think you've.
It's hard for me to pick a favorite Zack Snyder. It's funny for me because like
I
if I
know.
watch Batman v Superman, I'll be like, oh, that's my favorite Zack Snyder film, and then I'll go back and I'll watch Man of Steel, and I'm like, no, that's my favorite Zack Snyder
And
movie.
kind of change your
I
mind a
think
little
Man of
bit.
Steel,
Yeah,
yeah, I think Man of Steel carries so much emotion, like
yeah,
regarding his relationship with his dad and Jonathan
yeah,
Kent, and I think that like everything that Jonathan Kent says in that movie is just amazing. I think like the
yeah,
life guidance he gives to Clark, and that's sort of like,
yeah.
but it, and then I go back and watch Watchmen. I'm like, no, that's my favorite movie. It's hard to sort of for me to pick one. I just can't sort of
I know.
solidly pick a favorite. If I had to pick a favorite Zack Snyder movie, I'd say Watchmen, but
Yeah.
I can't say it solidly because it
No.
changes all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll get you. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's just for me, like you said about the hope thing, and Kevin Costner as Jonathan Kent. It's just so emotional and so inspiring. It really reminds me of my stepdad, Steve, in my mum's past marriage, that brought up with me, brought me up, and he was very, very much like Jonathan Kent. And he all the good stuff I learnt from him. About
That's awesome.
life and things like that, and that really connected me to me on a personal level, because obviously Superman is not his real son, and neither was that. Yeah, that was I've heard people, Man of Steel has, including me, dragged them out of depression, and many people have come and said that and commented, and told me their stories on Facebook about how Man of Steel gave them hope, and things like this, and it's just it's incredible. But on to Batman versus Superman. As you know, I'm a huge Batman fan. I am Batman.
Yeah, I think so.
The Savage Bat. That's what my nickname. No, this Savage Bat was inspired by Ben Affleck's Batman in Batman versus Superman. Do you know what I mean? That's how I came up with the name, and that's why I really, again, had a strong connection with that movie more than anything because of Batman's completely gone off the rails, like I have in the past in my life. And gone down the dark path, and then and then realised that he was kind of doing wrong, and finds his redemption at the end of the film. So I had a personal connection with that, and we all knew as big fans that was leading up to him uniting the Justice League and all that. But not many fans did. They were like, "Oh, it's not Batman. He's killing people and all this sort of thing," and and all that. But yeah, it's just it's just craziness.
It just goes to show how misunderstood that movie was. It was like, what really grates me sometimes is how people completely misunderstood the Martha scene.
I know. Still to this day, the person memes about it.
That's it. And the way I understand it is that, I mean, the way I saw it the first time I watched it was that sort of realization that like that bizarre, that like, it was that sort of bizarre moment where he's stunned. He's become the person in the alley who killed his mum and dad. He is now taking away a father from a son, a mother from a son. That he has become that killer in the alley.
Become the killer, yeah.
That's what shocks him. He's like, that's what I've become the monster I swore to destroy.
The wake up call.
That's how I read it anyway. The first time I watched it,
exactly the same. Yeah. Well, I think that's what it means.
How come these people can't see the same thing?
No.
All they've heard is Martha. Oh wait, they're best friends again. But they don't seem to have a problem processing Bucky is alive.
Yeah, Bucky is alive.
So I don't know what the difference is. There's like this bizarre sort of paradoxical screen there somewhere. But like I said, the way I saw it was he's become the monster he swore to destroy.
Yeah.
Everything that he didn't want to become. And in that one moment, and like at the very end where he's got the brand in his hand and he goes to punch Lex, but he punches the wall.
Yeah.
That was his sort of moment. Because it was killing people. The Bat brand was killing people. People saw it in prison. They were killing people there. So he's done that. That's his fault.
Yeah.
But then he decides, no, I'm better than that. Punches the wall. He walks away. You know, he's changed. He's become a changed person because of Superman inspiring him to be better.
That's right.
How can people miss that?
That was the progression of the story. I mean, that's pretty fucking important stuff. If you didn't see that, what the fuck was you watching?
I know it's like every character in that story had a character arc. But people decide to miss 80% of the movie for some reason. It's crazy.
I don't know. Back to playing on their phones, probably, like you said.
Like I said, too busy playing on their phones or thinking they're at a theme park again.
Yeah, that's right. I absolutely love your Scorsese memes over the years.
Oh yeah. I'm planning on bringing Marty back. At the moment, I've got him he's sort of like cryogenically frozen. I'm waiting to bring him back.
Yeah.
I just think that's another thing that I think's hilarious. That moment when he said, "I don't think it's cinema."
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the internet erupted with people going, "What the fuck does he know about cinema?" And you know what I mean? So, like, I just played on it. I mean, I haven't got a problem with people if they want to watch Marvel movies. I haven't, despite how it might come across online. I haven't.
No, I know.
I haven't got a problem with it. If that's your jam, that's your jam. But it doesn't happen to be mine. I mean, I've seen them. I've seen Marvel movies, but they're not my cup of tea, right? So the fact that he annoyed people so much with that one comment, I just play on it. I make a joke of it, and 50% of people laugh. 50% of people tell me to fuck off.
Yeah, I get the same. I'm always rubbing fans up the wrong way, and it's a situation where you can't win. Sometimes with DC fans and Zack Snyder fans, I say the wrong thing and fucking hell, I'm public enemy number one.
Yeah, I
for
know it's.
for a couple of weeks, and then they forget about it.
And that's what I love about like the whole Martin Scorsese theme, like is that
Yeah,
everyone's in on the joke.
yeah,
It just seems to be people who can't take a joke, just can't seem to process. And I
nah,
just can't believe they went after him after that one comment to the point where he had to write an article explaining what he meant. And
yeah,
then all of a sudden, Francis Ford Coppola comes out. He says
yeah,
the same thing, and then but he takes that bit more, that bigger level of it, and
yeah.
it
I
just seems
didn't
funny to me. It just seems funny. That's what it is to me anyway.
Denise Villeneuve said one as well. I think didn't he?
Yeah, well, I can't remember what he said, but I remember
Yeah,
making one. I remember making one with him as well and Martin
yeah. I made one as
Scorsese,
well.
like shaking hands or something. I can't remember. And it just every time somebody makes a comment, I like say, I think what's the name of the guy's name who played Boomerang in Suicide Squad?
Oh, Jay.
Courtney. Jay,
Huh?
yeah.
Jay
Is it Jay
Courtney.
Courtney?
That's
That's
it.
his
Yeah,
name, is it? Yeah.
yeah.
And then I think he made a comment where he just blatantly blurred out "fuck Marvel."
That was so funny.
I know it
Even
just made me
though
laugh.
it was to do with the Suicide Squad, which I'm not really a fan of. I posted it online, just a clip of it. Personally, I was watching it over and over again because I was just pissing myself laughing because he's
It made me
Australian,
laugh.
isn't he? And he just went. They've all said,
Yeah,
"So what do you think about so and so?" And he just goes, "Fuck Marvel."
yeah. That's what, it just seems funny to me. It's just the fact that like it upset so many people. So then what I did was I sort of got a Photoshop of his head and I put him next to Martin Scorsese with Martin Scorsese's arm around him. And he just
Yeah,
says, Jay, you truly are the king of kings.
yeah, yeah.
And
Uh,
like I said, that whole Martin Scorsese thing, it's just a big joke to me. Like I just think it's so funny how he's with that one comment that was made how many years ago now has
oh
stuck
no.
around for so long. It's just it just seems funny. It just seems funny to me.
Yeah, it is funny. I love it. I love it. It's always good to have a little bit of banter, with the whole DC and Marvel thing, because it's
Yeah.
just all a bit of fun. Sometimes it gets out of hand with other people, but I never take it that far. But yeah, it's great stuff. And back to Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Mm,
With the Ray Fisher part of it again.
mm,
He's had to. It's just typical Warner Brothers. It's been treated really badly behind the scenes on the filming of the 2017 Justice League, and they
mm,
completely cut his part to shit again, which is gutting. And then when Ray confronted Warner Brothers about it,
mm,
they've denied it. Well, old Warner Brothers, should I say, not new
mhm.
Warner Brothers. Things are looking
Yeah.
up now with the Warner Brothers Discovery merger. They're cleaning house at the moment. There's only a couple of these undesirable executives that are left. But just the Ray Fisher thing,
Mm.
it's another part of the journey with, you know, for fighting for what's right. Really,
Yeah.
he deserves justice, and he's starting to get that now. He's going to be in Rebel Moon, which I'm really really excited about.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I
You
really
know,
am. It's
this,
funny. Like I remember when Zack was shooting Army of the Dead, and he
yeah,
was posting like little stills of it on Vero, and I was like, "Oh, when is this movie coming out? I really want to watch this." It's the same with like Rebel Moon. It's like because
yeah,
I know we all know like little bits of like what's coming and who's in it. Thinking, God,
yeah,
I am so hyped for this film to like come out on Netflix already. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, well, Sophia Butelli's in it as well, and I'm a huge fan of hers.
Yeah.
I've got a massive crush on her. Just admit it. Just say it. Do you know what I mean? I have. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
you.
Maybe one day when like you're progressing with your show and all that, she'll come on and then you can play like this back. You can play it back to her and tell her that you
Yeah,
that
yeah. I love you, by the way, Sophia.
you-
Give me a
yeah.
shout. Yeah,
I
we've
know,
got
yeah.
receipts. Yeah.
Are we doing this? Because I'll name a couple. Megan Fox, if you're watching. Also Henry Cavill, if you're watching.
Yeah, Henry. Mate, we have to fight over Henry.
Yeah. So
Yeah, oh, Ben
yeah,
Affleck as well.
I remember put it on Twitter the other day. Like I remember thinking. I remember once that Henry Cavill said he's got a secret Twitter account that he goes on Twitter with, and if he can see all my thirst tweets about him, it's like, this is going to be really awkward.
It is. Well, guys, want to be him. Women want to be with him or whatever. In whatever gender. Everyone wants Henry.
Yeah, yeah, especially me.
Yeah. Well, that could be a good name for a TV show. Everyone wants Henry.
Yeah,
Starring Henry Cavill being
I know.
chased
Yeah,
by
yeah,
lunatic
he's
fans.
yeah. I remember watching a thing where he went to like a premiere and he's filming him talking to someone and he sort of like swoops his hair and you can
Yeah.
hear all these like people in the back going woo.
Yeah.
He only has to move his hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, like he was getting done a few good things. He was in that Immortals, and before that, the Tudors, and he was in a really weird one actually, Hellraiser, one of the Hellraiser sequels,
Know that.
and the Count of Monte Cristo as well. But the Hellraiser one was a really random one out of nowhere that I found just looking him up. With I think it was Lance Hendrickson was in it as well. It was, it's early days, but then Man of Steel just skyrocketed him to,
Yeah, yeah.
superstardom.
I remember
Now,
when
now his
he did that Mission Impossible Fallout. I remember that movie.
that's another movie that I love, and
Because the clip of
Henry's
him,
yeah,
the
go on.
clip of him is always that one where he's getting ready to fight, and he sort of like unlocks his arms. You know what I mean? There's always that clip of him doing that when they're about to fight. It's like just
Yeah.
like Cavill in it. He's just awesome.
Yeah, he's the beast. Cavill is the beast, and just that scene in that Fallout, several of the scenes, I think they're kind of almost an audition to be James Bond, because
Yeah,
he's got the charm of Roger Moore, and and Pierce Brosnan, and the sort of comedy side of things down to a T. But also he's got the strength, brute strength and size of Sean Connery. So he would make a great James Bond.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think I'd be very, very surprised if he doesn't end up as James Bond one day.
So would I. That would
Yeah,
be such a
he
missed
has to be,
opportunity.
surely. You know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And whatever time it happens, they might have one in between, and he might be after. But I'm pretty damn sure he's going to get that role. But obviously, we want to get him to finish Superman first.
Yeah, yeah. First, please.
Yeah, do Superman first, then James Bond, please, Henry.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be fine. I'm good with that then.
Yeah, yeah. Finish the arc. Do maybe a couple of Man of Steel solo movies. And we'll be happy with that, because this ain't going to go on forever. We just kind of want what we're fighting for. We've restored the
Yeah.
Snyderverse, and that's what it's all about, really. It's they
Yeah,
released the
basically
Snyder
what was
Cut
promised to us in the beginning.
in the beginning, yeah. Released the Snyder Cut has kind of evolved into restore the Snyderverse, which is release the Ayer Cut, make the Batfleck movie, Henry Cavill's Superman, all mixed into one. That's what it means. Is Zack to finish his arc, and then fingers crossed, the Ayer Cut, and the Batfleck movie, and we might get more. We don't know, but that is
Well,
those.
that's it. You can see from the what we've seen so far of Zack's DC movies, and that he was setting something big up, like in Zack Snyder's Justice League, where Lex Luthor's sitting on the boat talking to to Deathstroke,
Yeah.
you hear him saying, he tells him about, Batman, doesn't he? He tells him what his name is.
Yeah, Bruce
And
Wayne, yeah.
you're thinking, Zack was setting up something massive. He was setting up
Huge.
something fucking massive,
Ah.
and I think, why would you take it away and then decide to give Sweden the chance to try, and just to fuck things up?
Oh,
I don't know,
fucking.
I don't know what the plan was there, but like there, you're like say Lex Luthor on the boat, he's telling him everything,
Yeah.
and I said, why?
And that would have directly linked to the Batfleck movie,
Yeah, the
possibly.
Batman, yeah,
And then we would have got Justice League 2 and then Justice League
yeah,
3. That was
yeah.
pretty much it. So it's looking like hopeful. It's looking really really hopeful that this is going to happen now. Everyone's got
So that'd be
faith.
cool.
We've got to have faith in David Zaslav to make the right decision. He seems
Yeah,
like he knows what he's talking about. He's already fired half of the people that have fucked this whole thing up. There's only a couple of left now on the chopping board. Boom. Take them out. Zaslav, come on. Finish it. Finish them. and then, it's all guns blazing, hopefully.
I'm like, it'd be nice to sort of get it restored, and then and just seeing what Zack comes up with next with, Rebel Moon, the Army of the Dead universe as well.
yeah,
There's
the
there's so
animated
much like
series.
Snyder content on the horizon. It's like whereas he was sort of like, where they didn't see his value at Warner Brothers,
Yeah,
Netflix have gone fucking hell. Come over here, mate.
yeah,
You do whatever the fuck you want. Here's some cash, and he's
yeah.
doing it.
And
They
David
know
Zaslav must be
they know he's
watching
got big
this,
fans. Exactly. Yeah.
right, and saying, right, we're going to get you back.
Yeah.
This old
It,
regime at Warner Brothers, I don't know what they were doing, but please come back. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. That's it. It just seems like
Let
he's got
let's
this license to print money.
yeah,
It's just because he's got a huge fan base. I can't think of another director that has a huge fan base like Zack Snyder does. I really
neither do I.
can't. It's
No,
it's
and
crazy.
loyal, and willing to put the effort in. All the fans out there are amazing. You know,
I
yeah,
know it's like even before when everyone was fighting for the Snyder cut as well. There's like this whole sort of goal to sort of get it released for him and his family, and just to sort of you know get it done for him, and like to put it to rest that it's done. We've done it and we've won. And like
yeah,
even now and again, like I've got to admit, like there were times when like we were fighting for it, and you just get absolutely fucking hammered by people online who are like, it doesn't exist, and I'm like, they're not going to release it. And
yeah,
sometimes I'd feel like, oh God, what if it doesn't happen? Like, what if we can't do it, for him? And then like I'd be on like different forms of social media, and I remember once I was like so gutted by the whole thing. I thought it's never going to happen. Like, that's what they do to you. They sort of make you believe that it'd never come,
yeah,
and then like all of a sudden there'd be like it was on Vero, and Abdul would sign up on one of his posts when he was writing. He'd write the boss, the architect, the one. Then all of a sudden I was like, fucking yes, let's get going. I'd be
yeah,
back in sort of the game. Then I was like, let's go, and everyone
yeah,
was doing the same thing. Like everyone would just have this sort of way of rallying people back up to sort of like, come on, let's fucking go. It was
yeah.
just, I just love it. I just love the community. I just love how people can sort of do that. And like I said, all the talented people that are in the community as well. It's
Mm.
just insane. And then I sort of like try to tag along with my like very semi-average jokes, like the fucking jester or something.
No, they're great though. Everyone, posts. Your posts are really popular. And, because your content is always good. I've got you set on the automatic post in the Snyder Nights. It automatically lets you post whatever you want.
No, nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might come to regret that one day.
Ah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. It's like, but you know what I mean? It's like there's just so many talented people and like all the stuff they do, and you know, like you say, like with your group as well, the amount of people you've got in your group, and like even in like the Church of Snyder that I'm in, like,
Yeah.
do you know who Joel Ketchum is?
Yeah, I've got good friends through social media with him.
Jesus, like I remember like not long after I met him, he tagged me in a video, and he was basically playing a guitar. He was playing his own music,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Fuck, this guy's amazing!" Like,
Yeah, he tags me as well. He's
he's
a
like,
great guy.
I like, and I write on his videos like, and I'm like, I actually don't think he knows how good he actually is. He writes his
Yeah.
own songs. He sounds, he's got the soul of like Johnny Cash, but like he's got his own spin on stuff, and he's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what I mean. There's
really,
like
really
so many
talented.
talented people, and like they're all, and that's what I mean. That's why I said to Zach on the call, I was like, thanks for connecting me to the most wonderful people in the world. Like
Yeah.
I'm so lucky, that like I've got to meet people from who I wouldn't have met otherwise.
No.
So it's awesome. It's just nice that it's like it's sort of come full circle. Just from making daft little jokes, I've sort of like been found by all the people who are idiots just like me.
Same, mate. But it's been great. It's been great getting to meet, and then meeting you in real life. As I said earlier, it's great. But talking of the Church of Snyder, that's a grassroots, old school Snyder group. With some, the real hardcore fans there. And I've contacted Joel and is it Robert Kenneth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Scott Taylor. And I want to try and get,
Taylor,
because
yeah.
you're admin of that group as well, aren't you?
Yeah, they made me an admin of it. I just it was one of the, like I say, that was where I was found and taken over to Vero in Church
Yeah.
of Snyder. It was but yeah, it's just, and like I
But
said, everyone's really nice, and
yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and get them on the channel, and you at the same time, or as many of the admins as we can. So Church of Snyder, if you're
yeah,
listening,
yeah.
get ready for this coming soon, and we'll do a
Yeah.
multi-stream and hear the story of the Church of Snyder. Because
I know,
that's
and that's like because like I got brought into like the
I've
admin
been a
side
member of that for
quite
years,
late.
same as
I
you.
like I was in the group, but I wasn't like, so I was like a member of it, but I got made admin a bit later. It was just a
Yeah,
total surprise, and I remember messaging him saying, "Oh my God, thank you so much. That's so fucking cool." But
yeah,
like, yeah, that was where I was found and taken over to Vero, and that's where like, yeah, it's like I say, you just sit back and look at it sometimes, and you think of the journey that you've been on, and it's surreal. Like even sort of
it
like,
is.
Comic Con and everything, and like being in front of Ray Porter, and
Meeting Ray
meeting
Porter was great.
Kelvin, met Calvin, met the Nerd Queens, and just like all these people, and like it
Yeah.
was it was amazing. And nobody, I said this on Vero, but I don't think they've seen it. Nobody gives hugs like the Nerd Queens do. I love
Oh,
them. They're so nice, and they've been so nice to me, like
yeah,
forever. I'm so lucky they're my friends. They're really nice. They're really nice. I
yeah.
love them.
I would love to get the Nerd Queens on here as well to talk about their journey, if that's something they'd be up for. I've
Oh yeah,
sent
I love them. They're so nice. They
I've
are.
sent a
They're
few
really
bat
they've been
signals
really
out
nice
there,
to me.
so hopefully we can get them on. So Nerd Queens, if you're watching, we love you. I love you. Please come on and tell us your story and your side of the history of the Snyderverse, please, if that's okay.
I know. I was gutted because like when I met them, I was like I never got to take a picture of them. I was just it was a I never got to take a picture of them. I wish I had them now. It's just one of those things where I think, oh, maybe I should have got a cell, because like meeting people and everything. I think, oh, what if it never happens again? But
Yeah,
yeah, like I said, it was really nice to meet them both. It really was. They're lovely. They are. They're really nice.
yeah, yes. I hope to meet them one day myself. I missed them that day, so just didn't know where they was in the Comic Con, or had a rough idea of what they looked like, but it's so big. I just I was I'm randomly, just went
Yeah,
really for Ray Porter mainly, and then Kevin Conroy and Will Friedle from Batman and Batman Beyond, and Flash
yeah.
Gordon.
It's a big place though, isn't it? That Telford one. Because I remember when
Yeah,
Comic Con, Wales Comic Con, when it used to be in Wales, it
yeah,
was it used to be 100 yards from where I lived.
yeah,
Right, it was like straight up. I could walk there. It was that close to where I lived, and like I'm pointing that way because it was over there. And so it was, and then now it's like 50 miles away.
yeah. Well,
But it
no.
was,
Well, when we spoke at the Comic Con, I thought I was in Wales,
oh,
and
you
you
haven't
was
made it
like,
here yet. No,
"Yeah."
you'd know it. You'd know if you made it here because you won't have any phone network, and you'd have to set your watch back 25 years. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even
it's
realise that where I was in the country.
yeah. And what's funny about that is though, right? I've said to Nana like a couple of times because Nana she went to Wales Comic Con when it was by my house,
Right.
but I didn't know her then. And I
Yeah.
said to her, when you went to Wales Comic Con, you would have walked past my house. And like without, and I didn't even know. I didn't even know her. It was just surreal to think that at one point she was there. And but
Small
even
world.
I said to Ray Porter. Ray Porter went to Harlech one point. There's a big castle there. It's like one of these like Welsh things.
Yeah.
And he was there and he took a picture of it. And I said to Ray, I was like, you were like 40 minutes from my house at one point. It's crazy. It's just he was
Yeah.
right there, and like that's where I used to go on holiday when I was little. You know,
Yeah.
it's just
That was so great
oh,
meeting Ray Porter. He's such a nice guy. I
he
got
was
my
really
photo
nice.
with him, and I got him to sign my copy of the SnyderCut steelbook. So I'm going to fill that up with all the actors eventually. Hopefully, that's
Oh,
my
you'll do
goal.
it. I'm
Yeah,
sure you will.
I will. I will. That'll
Meeting
be
Ray
real.
Porter, he was just like I remember when I went up to him. I was like, I was stood next to Cole, and I was like, oh God, I've got to admit I'm a bit nervous. And she was like, don't be nervous. He's really nice. And I was like, oh, now even more nervous.
Yeah.
And like. I just
So was
remember getting
I.
him to sign my Funko Pop, and he was like, "Yeah, it's really great to meet you." And he stood up and came round his table. He shook my hand. He gave me a hug, and he goes, "Oh, you're a legend, man." And I was like, "No, no, no, don't be saying things like that." And he was like,
You
"Yeah,
are.
yeah, let me sign your Funko Pop." And then we all had a picture with him, and yeah, it was it was a lot of fun. It was a really good day. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So we're getting on a little bit there. I think we'll wrap that up now. And we've got our hopes to restore the Snyderverse. The hopes are high now. So things are looking up,
Yeah. All
and
right.
the future is bright, and
Definitely.
we'll continue to fight. Like we
Yeah.
always do.
Definitely.
And
And like before I go. I'm going to take the opportunity to say thank you to everybody who has, found me or at least entertained my terrible, terrible jokes over like the last God knows how many years, and just talking to me, being nice to me, entertaining me, just connecting with me. There are way too many people to name, but
yeah,
I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that people really do you know, are nice to me. And yeah, thank you for
right.
being so wonderful to me, everybody. I really do appreciate it. It's been so cool. And like when my dad got poorly, it was like it
Yeah, I
was
remember.
so fucking devastating. But even then, that was right at the point after it happened. Zack started following me out of nowhere. And that was when the community sort of like lifted me out. They were sending money to my dad so we could send him to Disneyland, and
Yeah,
it was just this whole thing. So thank you to everyone who helped and continues to send love. And there are way too many people to name, but I
yeah,
can't even begin to start. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. Cheers.
yeah. And if you haven't, check Chris Hughes' page out, Doctor Memehattan, on Facebook, Twitter,
Yeah,
and Vero, and
yeah.
Instagram as well.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm everywhere. I just realised I'm everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't do. I'm not conquered the Instagram thing yet. I like Facebook too much.
Listen,
It has
anything. I
its
had my
issues.
I had my first death threat on Instagram.
Oh God, I've had a few of them over the years.
Yeah, it's so funny. This guy was like, "I'm going to come and find you, Chris." And what did he say? He said, "Where do you live?" And I went, "Why? Would it entice you to come and find me?" And then he was just, he just said he was going to kill me and all this other sort of stuff. But yeah, see, for every absolute fucking lunatic,
Yeah,
there's somebody really nice. You know,
yeah.
there's like a Darren Benson. Darren Benson, I absolutely love Darren. He's so fucking. I just, yeah, I love everybody. Thank you for being so good to me. I could name everybody who's really, really good to me, but thank you. I really, really do appreciate it. I do.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, there you go, people. Yeah.
Nice one.
So let's call that a day, and it's been very nice to get you on here, and it's been for me personally such an honour to be your friend. You're always so great to me, and I always try and support you any way I can.
Nice one. Thanks.
Through some dark times and stuff, and you've always been there for me. So I really really appreciate that, mate. That's
No, it's all good. You
yeah.
know, it's what we're all here for, isn't it? Honestly, it's all good. Like and
Oh,
like I said, thanks for having me on your show as well. This is crazy. Yeah, I got to admit, when you give me that big hype up at the beginning, I was like, Jesus, I got to like lower the bar a bit now.
nah, mate, you are a fucking legend. You are a fucking
No way.
legend. Yes, you are.
It's like
You have to
it's like
deal with it.
you had like Rich Citrone on here, and now you've come down like about 10 levels. Really scraping the barrel for content now.
No, shut up. You know that ain't true.
I know it's but like I said, this whole journey has just been. You look back on it sometimes. I remember it different, but when you look through your phone, your phone records everything. So like,
Yeah,
and you flick through and you think, oh fuck yeah, that's what happened, and Jesus, that
yeah,
happened, and I forgot about that. So it's so good to as much
yeah.
stick as social media gets. It's
Yeah. Well, just for instance, today we're going on a little bit here, but was a poster done saying release, may the motherfucking force be with us all, and then it was the release the Snyder cut picture, just saying release the Snyder cut, and I tagged you in it, and that was 3 years ago in my memories, and
Jesus.
you put uh, keep the faith, it's coming, or something like that. And I put, yeah, you know
Really?
this.
Yeah, yeah,
I commented underneath it today to bring it back up in the memories.
yeah.
We've posted stuff way before that, but just little things like that. I look back on them, I think, yeah, man,
Yeah.
it happened. Yeah,
That's what I mean. I mean, they probably won't release that movie. It doesn't exist. So yeah.
yeah. Well, you can own it now.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe one day you should get Jay Oliver on and ask him to say it for you.
Yeah, oh, I would love to. I have tagged him in a couple of things, but yeah, I've been a massive fan of Jay's myself. So yeah, hopefully, if you're out there, Jay, listening, yeah, that would be lovely to get you on and talk about God, so much stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be cool. That'd be great if you just get him to say it and just like flip some little sunglasses down after he says it. Just go
yeah.
deal
Well,
with
I
it.
could use my Bruce Wayne sunglasses. Yeah,
There you go. Exactly. That'd be cool. I remember writing when he was on Justice Con. I was like,
yeah,
everyone was writing, get him to say deal with it. And they mentioned it to him, and he was like, no, no, I'll get me and Zack to say it at the same time. And I was like, fucking, that would be epic if we got
yeah,
Zack and Jay to say it at the same time. That'd just be great.
yeah.
Amazing content.
100%. Right, thanks for today, mate. Call
No,
it
you're
that.
welcome.
And right, thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos and stuff like that. And I've got live streaming coming soon, so everyone can get involved in the chat and stuff like that. So be prepared for that. That's coming. Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. And be excellent to each other, Gotham. And Batman out.